exchange students in the class. And the professor had a student that was a exchange student that was stretching like his back had hurt, and the professor walked over and he asked, "What's wrong? Is your back sore?" And he says, "Yeah, there's a bullet in my back. I was shot while trying to overthrow some communists that were trying to take over our country." And he got a bullet. He's carrying that around with him. Then he turns to the professor and he says, "Do you know how to catch a wild pig?" The professor thinks it's a joke, so he's trying to come up with a punchline. And he says, "No, how?" The guy says, the student teaching the professor, he says, "You put out some corn, lay it in the field for the pigs to come and find, and they'll eat it. And you do that for a few days, and you put up a fence 40 feet long, and you put some more corn in front of it. The pigs will come and eat it for a few days. You put up another side to the fence, and the pigs will come and they'll still eat it. You put up another side, the pigs will still come and eat it. Then you put a whole bunch of corn out there, and when all the pigs get in it, you put up the last section of fence. One by one, you take away their freedoms until they have none left." And that's what's happening here in America. It's happening every time we turn around. The Constitution guarantees us right to free speech. Congress shall establish no laws prohibiting free speech. But 2 years ago, Congress passed a law inhibiting free speech. Now, Secret Service can set up free speech zones where you can protest. But if they're protecting a governor or president or senator, you're not allowed free speech in the area. One by one, they take these away from us. They're putting up corn for us. They're giving us things like supplemental income, tax credits, tax exemptions, tobacco subsidies, dairy subsidies, payments to not plant crops, welfare, medicine, drugs. Meanwhile, they take away our freedoms one at a time. Well, so we can't do that. We do have this. Well, they are giving us this, so we don't have the right to do this. They are giving us this. People have to wake up. They have to remember there's no such thing as a free lunch. And every time you take something that's so-called free, you lose much more than you're getting. Even with the states. The states want money from the feds for highway funds. They had to implement 55-mile-an-hour speed limits. That's what that was all about. It's the old, when you're in my house, you live by my rules. Your parents did it. Our states do it. The counties do it to us. The states do it to the county. The feds do it to the states. Stop looking for the free lunch. That's why Obama got elected. Everybody wanted the free lunch. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Every time we take something that we think is free, we're giving up. We're giving up our freedom. We're giving up the liberties that the Constitution guaranteed us. They guaranteed us these rights. But we give up the rights. They're not taking them away. They're not saying, you can't drive 75. Well, they are, if you take federal funds. As long as we take from them, they will take much more from us because we become their whores. We become beholden to them. That's the price of suckling at the government tit. And it's time Americans wake up and pay attention to what it's costing us. Folks, we got a lot more on the other side of the hour, a whole lot more to talk about. Please stick around. We'll be right back.
KCAA. Tom O'Halloran, holding the line against tyranny from Washington, D.C.
Thank you and welcome back. This is the fastest hour in radio. This is the Tuesday edition of the Patriot Radio Show. I want to thank everybody that's in my chat room tonight. Brian and Ron, these guys do a great radio show themselves on Sunday nights. If you go to Patriot-Radio-Show.com, click on the link in the center column. At the very top of the center column, it's radio shows I like. Click on the button at the very top, you'll see Halls of Valhalla. There are 3 shows on that little group. One of them is BNR Radio. That's Brian and Ron, The Last Stand. Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. I catch it anytime I can. It's always, always, always a great show. Please make it a point to put them on your list and catch their show as well. Veronica Coffin, Ronnie's in the chat room. She's my editor. We talked about her at the beginning of the show. Does a bang-up job. Manages 15 websites now. We put lots new in this week. And I'm just pleased as can be that she's part of what we're doing here and helping to get the word out. I also like to thank our producer, John Watanabe, and the station at KCAA. John, thank you again. Okay, coming up next, I promised you you'd be having blood squirt out of your eyes by the time I was done, and we're moving into that. An audit was just done, and it turns out the government misspent, $5.3 billion with a B, $1 billion on improper food stamp payments and other nutrition blunders. $5.3 billion. Touch it and you get zapped, Congress frets, as government misspent $5.3 billion on improper payments. They could triple the national debt on these programs, and it would still be impossible to challenge them. Food stamp program paid out $2.4 billion it shouldn't have between October of 13 and August of 14. The National School Lunch Program doled out an extra $1.7 billion extra. Oops! National School Breakfast Program, $923 million unnecessarily. And the Popular Women, Infants, and Children's Nutrition Assistance Program also misspent $206 million. That is absolutely insane. It's called improper payment in government speak. Basically, they're payments made to an ineligible recipient, a payment for a service or good that they were not eligible for. So basically, they're giving services away that the taxpayers are on the hook for. This could be to illegal aliens that are getting EBT cards, getting school lunches. Could be to wealthy people whose kids are getting free lunches. The report didn't break down exactly what this was, but $5.3 billion, in addition to the billions and billions that are being spent that shouldn't be, because it's not our job to raise these people. It's their families' jobs to raise them. We didn't lay down as a nation and have these babies. It's their parents' jobs to feed them and get off their butts and get a job so they can feed them. Instead, not only are we paying for services and support for these people, but we're also spending $5.3 billion to support people that aren't even eligible. And if that doesn't tick you off, I don't know what will. Oh, this might. This one might. How about this? The South Arbor Charter Academy. It's a free charter school in Ypsilanti, Michigan. They have this real nice mural, a Heroes Hall. You walk down the hall and you see a mural with Albert Einstein, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, the astronauts who were killed in the space launch that exploded over Texas. The Hall of Heroes, how cool. But it was getting a little faded, and it's been up for 11 years, so it's time to replace these heroes with some new heroes. Well, the new heroes aren't exactly heroes. They're more like zeros. Barack Obama, Oprah, Maya Angelou. How are these people heroes? Also included was Walt Disney and Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling. These aren't heroes. They may have been successful business people, successful poets, but they're not heroes. Why are we taking heroes away from our kids? Because it might make them feel inadequate. If some people are better than others. This is absolutely shameful. Hall of Heroes. Okay, Obama, traveling around the world, giving away our money because we have so much money. The federal government has so much money, he doesn't know what to do with it. So he's traveling around the world promising our money, our taxpayer dollars, and what we don't have, we have to borrow from China. This recent trip to China, he came out wearing a Mao jacket, as in Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong. In addition to the outlandishly offensive garb, during the speech, he said that he was going to donate, he was going to contribute $3 billion to the Green Climate Fund. How much money have we given to green projects that have all gone bankrupt? And this piece of crap is still pledging our money for green projects to further enrich his friends in the green industry. He wanted to pledge $3 billion to the Green Climate Fund so we can help in developing nations deal with climate change. Now, the Green Climate Fund, the Climate Fund claims that it aims to promote a paradigm shift. Isn't that like radically transform America? They want to promote a paradigm shift in the use of energy and development. But that sounds more like the United States' manufacturing technology will be hamstrung, while third world countries will get a pass on complying with emission standards. China, a global financial powerhouse, has a 15-year moratorium. So once again, Obama is unilaterally bending over and making us pay, making us cut back, making us give money, while everybody else gets to continue business as usual. Sounds like his negotiation with Russia over the nukes, which hopefully we'll get to in a couple of minutes here. The UK's Daily Mail had an interesting comparison piece listing the most murderous regimes in the world. Now remember I mentioned Obama came to this meeting wearing a Chinese Mao jacket. Note that China's Mao Zedong, who made the mandatory Mao jacket, he tops the list of murderous regimes, edging out the horrific, bloody dictatorships of Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler. So the most murderous regime in the world, and Obama honors him by wearing his jacket. It's easy to see where his alliances lie. Okay, just mentioned Russia's challenge. When Obama first came into office, he sat down and negotiated the START 3 treaty. This was in 2010, so a year into his presidency. Basically, they're just this